going to do a very quick review of the Story of the World history curriculum. It comes with a book, and I don't know if you can tell, we laminated the outside just to keep it nicer, and the contact paper can come off if we need it to. And then I went to Office Depot or Office Max, and I had them cut off the binding of the activity guide as well as the test booklet, and they bound it for me. And so what I did is I got just a clear cover to protect it. Now you can see this was the activity book, and it was kind of thick, so I left it like that. And I put all the teacher's notes in here. Just the teacher's stuff. Has the maps in here. Oh, that's where my stickum. I usually leave a stickum for what lesson we're on, and it's apparently fallen out. Here's the key to all the map stuff that they're going to be doing. Of course, it's not really in color, but it does tell you, like, this is what color it would be. And then I didn't do this in the beginning of the year. I wish I had. It would have made my life so much easier. So I went back in and had them, while I was preparing for next year, and I had them add this. So I added the answers to the tests, because sometimes they're just written a little weird. Not bad. It's just, like sometimes there's trick questions and stuff. And they're really simple, but anyway, so that's the teacher guide. One of the things that I found very helpful, and I'm considering doing, is just typing up the review questions, because these were really crucial for my daughter. She'll be going into 2nd grade next year. So we're not hoping really necessarily for her to get a whole lot, but kind of like throwing mud at a wall. Some will stick and the rest will fall off, and that's okay. But this is just where I 3-hole punched it, and the rest of the activity, I just put everything else in here. And for future, because you're allowed to copy 4 within your own family. And here is she needed 2 because the ProClick binding system doesn't make a large enough binder. So for hers, I just made a copy of the activity cover. And here's some of her work. And then I'll write, the questions, and then have her, she's a really good reader. So I've finally found a system that works for us, is I'll have her read in the book, and I always have the questions written down first so that she can try and think about what do I need to pay attention to, especially in the curriculum. Now they have different kinds of activities like coloring pages. Here's some games. You're supposed to blow them up, but I couldn't. And here's the tests. Now the tests for me are more for how much is she retaining, and in case we ever get audited or whatever, that my ducks are in a row. I try and help her with handwriting because I couldn't tell, is it true or false? But they just have all sorts of different little stuff, things that she'd rip out and I'd print on cardstock, like paper dolls. She learns a lot about Greek history right now, what the different gods and goddesses are. It is mostly a Christian curriculum. It doesn't go through it too much. It kind of just touches on stuff, and it's okay. What I'm finding is they have these wonderful activities. So in order to get through this in a year, we would need to do about 2 sections a day that we do history. So she'd have to read, they're kind of like sub-chapters, so she'd have to read all of this and all of this, and that takes quite a bit of time. Then you do the map work. It's not a lot, but so what I usually do is I'll have her find it on our map over there, as well as the maps that are in here to kind of give it context. And then we have an inflatable globe because they're so much cheaper, and find it that way because the world is not flat. And then she'll color all these things out. And of course, some of these are named different things than they were back in the day. And then they have different projects that you can choose to do. And I find that I just really don't have time to do a lot of these unless they're already in the book. And I feel really bad because there's just so much that I would like to do. They also come with, in the back, these are not in order, she messed them up, but that's okay. Little things about kind of review what that section was on, and what I'd like to do is just hole punch them and keep them on like a ring or something so they don't get out of order. So that's kind of how we plan it. And again, I just got this, so I haven't laminated the cover of this one. The book is well written. I do have to say the book is well written. It's entertaining. My first grader likes to just read it because it's fun. So sometimes she'll get in trouble because she's just reading on instead of answering the questions, just because she really enjoys them. And again, the next one, just kind of showing you the different things. This one is from the Middle Ages. Another thing that I do, and I can't really show you because we haven't done it religiously, is use a timeline. We actually use the Konos timeline and their figures, and sometimes I'll print some out. So this one is formatted very similarly. One of the main differences I saw was that there were advanced map work. See, here's the regular map work, and not on all of them, but on some of them I saw there was places for advanced map work. And it does a good job of adding a little more than just history. It goes into a little bit of, like, what society was like and why things were. So this time, because it's an easy color to match other than this orange color, I got a navy blue binder to add the activities, and you can see very similar format, lots of fun stuff, paper dolls, which my daughter really enjoys, making masks, so I think we'll have fun. This is not a perfect curriculum for us, but it does the job. I'm still looking for the perfect thing that would help her with her retention. But this isn't bad, It does take a little bit of work to prepare in the beginning, but after you figure out how it's going to work for you, just at least doing the basic parts, I think there's no problem. Let's see if I can show you any of the timeline. Okay, we've had to reorganize some things, so this is not a perfect view. But here is the Konos timeline. It's pretty big. This is a whole wall here. And one of the things we liked is, it goes all the way kind of to our day. And so learning history, the story of the world started out with teaching what her history is. So her mommy, her grandpa, her great-grandma, her great-great, as far back as you guys can go. And the Konos little figures, they've got they're on a cardstock, and they're they're usually more religious stuff, but we have some that we just printed online. So that's our little review of Story of the World. I'm still not sure how we're going to use it next year because I really would like to incorporate more of the activities, but I think spending more than an hour on history twice a week is probably more than we can really do. If you have any suggestions or different ways that you've used this, please leave it in the comments below, because I'd love to hear how everybody does things different, and I think that's part of why I make these videos. So happy schooling, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.